Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with another guide for Elden Ring. This time I'm going to show you how to take down the Godskin Apostle and Noble in the Spiritcaller's cave in the mountaintops of Giants. I'm going to start off by saying that I don't know if you are able to just find the Spiritcaller snail and kill it and end this fight in 2 seconds. I genuinely have no idea. I kind of don't think so because in the other Spiritcaller snail fight way back earlier on in the game, you were able to see the snail and attack it. You sort of see like a shadow of it, and it was glowing, so it's obvious. I do think that you are supposed to fight both the Godskin bosses for this, and then after that, the snail does appear automatically. So let me know if you're able to find it, but don't waste too much time on it. In any event, the Apostle and the Noble are normal fights. They do not have any new abilities other than the ones that you may have seen if you did fight them earlier on. You can find them in Volcano Manor and Divine Tower of Caelid, as well as the Lane Dell area in Altus Plateau. So, the Apostle moves very quickly, and he has a staff that has a hook, and then he can also stab with the butt end of it, and it's quite deadly. You can attempt to get in on his attacks, however, they're very long and very sweeping, and because of the hook on the back of his weapon, he is able to kind of cut you on the back end without you even noticing. So I don't really recommend rolling into him too often, only on very specific attacks, that jump strike being one of them. You are totally safe rolling into that. You're going to roll past him, and then you just turn around and get a hit in. The other name of the game with the Apostle, and even the Noble to some extent, is just get 1 or 2 hits in unless you get perfect rolling on that jump, and then if you do, you can get 3. When he hits about 50% HP, he's going to get all stretchy, and he has some more black flame abilities like this one. Just run away from that one. He still has this fireball. You can roll through that, and if you're close enough, get a stab in. Here's what I meant before. You could try to roll through his combos, but they're just so long, and they can always clip you on the back end, so you have to be careful. The whipping black flame ability, you can get in on that if you roll through the first one. You can get a ton of damage on him. I will do it here in the video. This windmill, when you get in on him, if you want to go for it, untarget the boss, because you are targeting the boss's upper torso for the most part. And so what's going to happen is you're actually going to be tracking the part of the body that's extended and not his legs. So if you're targeting him and you get in on the windmill and you start pressing R1 over and over, you're only going to hit him once or twice, whereas if you untarget him, you'll get your full combo. When you do untarget him, though, you got to be careful of the camera. So here's that whipping black flame ability. No problem. If you start all the way in on him, you don't even have to roll. No big deal. That stab into a hook back, that one is quite tough to learn how to dodge. What you want to do is you want to block the first hit and then roll through the second one, and you should be perfectly safe. Throughout this portion of the fight, however, the boss can still do the standing windmill. If you are getting sort of clipped by the standing windmill, I recommend simply blocking for a little bit. You will take a ton of posture damage, or stamina damage, but you will get pushed out from the boss. And so you shouldn't die from it unless you're just point blank in his face. Once the Apostle goes down, you have a bit of time. At that stage, during the break, I recommend popping a rune arc, activating your Great Rune, increasing your stats. Reason being that the Noble, although slower, has more devastating single-hit attacks. He also has a rapier that he can go kind of buck wild with, and he can very quickly drain your stamina, even with a Great Rune active. I mean, each hit, even though I have a 100% physical block shield, one hit is draining about 15 to 20% stamina off of my shield. So you got to be careful there. The major ability that you got to watch out for is that one. He can do 2 things when he puts his rapier above his head. He can either just do one big lunge, or if you notice him holding it for a really extended period of time, he's going to do a big combo of major strikes, the last one of which you can roll through successfully and get a bunch of damage on him. You do not want to try to get in his face and deal a bunch of damage, reason being that he can always sort of do, not a parry, but sort of like a deflection of you while doing damage. It's just sort of like a sweeping hand motion. You always have to be on the lookout for those. He shares the same Black Flame Fireball as the Apostle, so same sort of strategy there. But what the boss ends up doing is this. He puts the Ring of Fire around him like Johnny Cash, and then will cast the Fireball. And that's a little hard to see in the Fireball because the Ring of Flame is the same color. It's all the same effect, so you got to be careful. For some reason, this boss also has a tail and a tail swipe. So if you notice that you are behind the boss, you have like a 90% chance of getting tail swiped. So don't get comfortable there. He has this Skull Crusher move with the butt end of his sword. If you notice that he is holding his hand for an extended period of time, generally after a combo, it's going to be one big Skull Crusher. However, if he does one quickly, he will always follow up with the second one, and you can get in after the second one. For the Ring of Fire, you always want to back up. It's not worth trying to get in there to like the 2 pixels that you have to work with to deal damage. Just get out, let your stamina refill by dropping your guard, dodge the fireball that's almost certainly going to come, and then you'll be okay. Once the boss hits about 50-60% health, he will turn into phase 2, and then he turns into a giant marshmallow. This attack can be rolled through. However, you want to roll to the right, and it's kind of difficult when you should roll. So we do it successfully there, but I really clip through him. So I think what's happening is that his middle section is the hurt box along with his feet. But I can't be sure. This is only the second one that I fought, and it's a little hard to tell what the actual hurt box is on that, but it can be rolled through. I know in my original guide back in Volcano Manor, I mentioned to use pillars. Obviously, you don't have pillars in this fight, so you do have to learn how to roll through it. So that is the extended Skull Crusher smash I was talking about. He held his hand up for a really long period of time and then slammed it down. It's just one hit. This is the double. It's a lot quicker. You can always get damage on the double. When he does the Black Flame sort of inflation, you want to be careful because Black Flame abilities deal damage after they've hit you. It has like a ticking dot on it that lasts a couple seconds, but in those couple seconds, it can deal a significant amount of damage, so you have to be careful. So even if you roll back from the first Skull Crusher, you can roll in for the second one, but just pay attention to your stamina meter because that's 2 rolls and a strike, and that could be a significant amount of stamina for you if you don't have an adequate amount for this fight, so just be very careful. You will notice that when the boss's rapier starts to almost look like Penetrator from the original version of Demon Souls, where it's just sort of like has a long, I don't know what you want to call it, like a faded animation where it looks like it has a shadow. That's going to be like the really deadly combo of rapier strikes. So if you're able to notice that like very early on where he's still just sort of flourishing like right now, then you want to try to roll away. I did notice that if you get hit by the first strike, it'll usually just stop, but truth be told, that could be 2 different moves that only happen like once or twice in the entirety of my attempts on these guys, and I was trying for like an hour. So you see here, you can roll through that final strike and be okay. I'm going to roll in because of the double helm smasher. Do it again. 1 hit, 2 hits, dead. And then the fight's still not over, but don't worry, it kind of is, as long as you have enough health to survive a possible leap by a snail. But the snail will come out of the corner right here, and there's a lot of messages in this corner, so I am curious if it's killable, but I do remember realizing, oh, this is a Spirit Snail cave, so this is a Spirit Snail boss again. I do remember swinging my sword all around this corner and nothing happening, so I do think you're supposed to fight these 2. But that's it. That is the whole fight. It is very difficult, and you will require a lot of attempts. Good luck. But that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Elden Ring, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the blue join button below this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The links for those are in the description below. As always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.